Well, it's the future of currency. It's an unstoppable financial vehicle that's going to take over the world.
I'm right.
Save the Doge, please, Doge Father.
Elon Musk, please help Doge. We need you.
What happened, Elon? You've been very quiet.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely day. In today's video, we're going to be getting into a Bitcoin tech analysis. We're also going to be taking a look at some of our favorite altcoins, Chainlink and Ethereum. I want to share with you my thoughts on the lower time frames, really putting the focus on the high time frames as well today, since we've hit some high time frame regions. We want to take a look at the general momentum behind the price action as well. Right now, we are seeing some bullish divergences being set in on the 1 day time frame. So there's going to be a lot to speak about in today's video. Make sure that you stay tuned for it. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. So taking a look at the 1 day time frame here on the CME chart, we have discussed and spoken about multiple times here the bullish order block that we have at the bottom of the January lows. So this range that we had in January, we did set in a very nice bullish order block here, which we have actually bounced from the EQ here once, from the EQ almost perfectly here the second time on the 8th of June, and now we are bouncing from the bottom of the bullish order block. So as you can see, at least for now, we are seeing some buy pressure come in. More importantly, we did have our bearish divergences set in here on the 15th of June. We also moved up to our monthly profile upper point of control at $40,670. That is when we started to pick up some short positions. I've discussed these, so we won't get too far into it. However, we have now come back to the bottom of the range. That bearish divergence has played out now, in my personal opinion, and now we're seeing the opposite. So on the relative strength index here on the RSI, on the 1 day time frame, we are seeing some bullish divergences, as you can see. And overall, this is good for price action because it is not only one drive of bullish divergence, it is actually multiple drives of bullish divergence here, as you can see, from the 8th of June and then once again setting in here. Now, this is not confirmed just yet. You could be looking at this as more aggressively. So taking out the wick off this would be confirmation as a more aggressive trade, and getting closures above here on the next daily would be very good for price action. And ultimately, if we can start to close above that 200 SMA as well, I think that this bullish divergence will definitely be playing out to the upper firstly to the median of the range. So let's say the 200 exponential moving average here at 36,600. Then if we can reclaim that and reclaim our lower period exponential moving average, the orange here, the 21 EMA, I think that we could definitely make it up to the top of the range. So that would be what I'm watching here on the high time frames. That is very, very important. You guys know that our support regions are here for a reason. So when we actually come to, for example, the resistance here, we want to be looking for shorts, and now we want to be looking for longs. So ultimately, very, very nice bounce. We've had a full oscillation from the upper point of control down to the value area low of the monthly profile. Now getting a bounce, we need to hold that level. That is very, very important at around $28,720. So if we can hold those lows, that would be very, very nice. In my personal opinion, the way the daily is looking, the bulls have a very good chance to actually hold these lows here. Of course, breaking those lows would give us a quick move down to the S2. I've already discussed this, $23,625. That is the region here. I do like that region because of the fact that we also have a CME gap here. So as you can see, we have a CME gap in confluence with that S2. But there's no reason to be watching this until that level is broken, because that is very, very important to us. We know that on the 1-day time frame, we've entertained the idea that we are still ranging, overall ranging. If we go onto our spot price action, this is very well seen. If we look at right here, we actually had a move literally to the top of this range. So I've discussed that I would expect this range to break sometime at the start of July, because that would be about 70% full on the volatility index, the VIX here, and that could be when we get our breakout. And of course, we would be using those levels as confirmation. If we have volatility increasing and volume increasing, that would be very, very good. Now let's actually take a look at the volume, because yesterday on our move to the downside, we did have a little bit of a volume spike, but overall, this is not really too much to be worried about, because this is mainly the bullish volume that came in on these lows. There was a lot of shorts coming in as well. However, the bulls, of course, did end up coming in here and saving the price action. Since we are on our spot price action as well, or the spot chart here, you can see that we've had a move down to the value area low and also our January lows. So this is the important support region for us, and that's what we want to look at. So the daily still has not changed whatsoever, guys, for me, because as you guys know, the resistance is where we want to short. The longs come at the bottom of the range. So right now, from that value area low, a very nice bounce of 17%. We have come back to the lower point of control, so I would expect about $35,634, the upper point of control, to be the next major resistance for price action. So bullish divergence or no bullish divergence, it does not matter. We need to wait for reclaims as well, because that is ultimately the most important thing. We want to see a reclaim of resistance. Now, of course, we did hit our S3 as well, so there was just so much confluence down here. If you guys have been watching the YouTube channel for a while, you would know that we always speak about the S3 here being a trappy area, similar to the R3. Most likely not going to be breaking that on the first go. That is a region that you've had a full oscillation off the pivot ranges here. So ultimately, that S3 does not break on the first go, and usually that is the case. So that gives us more confidence behind long positions at the bottom of the range, in confluence with the S3, in confluence with, more importantly, the value area low of the range. Now, since we are on the lower time frames, we can discuss lower time frame regions we need to hold. So if I go on to the 1 hour here, we had a very nice diagonal resistance, which we did try to break above, but that did end up failing. Now, once that fails, we can look for short positions. So this was, I believe, after the video was made yesterday. We had a retest here. So what happens to broken support? It becomes resistance. We also had our S2 in confluence, which is much more important than a diagonal. We had a 10% move down to the S3. If we are shorting the S2 here, the weekly S2, we're looking at the next take profit zone at the S3, which was also in confluence with our January lows. And then we did end up breaking this. So let's assume you didn't actually pick up long positions down here. Could be looking for longs back above the diagonal resistance and also the S2. Once we broke above it, what happens to broken resistance? It often becomes support, and we can look for an RS flip, a resistance support flip. And ultimately, this has played out quite nicely as well, about a 7.9% bounce. Now, the next region here, we have broken the S1. So this would become the important support now, which, as you can see, the same thing has happened. We've broken resistance, the S1 at 33,682, and we have retested it as support. And now we've bounced up about 2%. So we could be looking for the same trading opportunity here, but mainly as a little bit of a scalp in this region as well. Trying to take some profits, but ultimately not all. In my personal opinion, that is what I would be doing. So because of the fact that we are actually coming back up near the high time frame resistance points. But if we are to hold the support here, the weekly S1, our general target is going to be right up here at the weekly pivot at 36,748. I like this because it would actually be taking out all of these highs. There's a lot of liquidity here, and that would be wrecking a lot of people basically. So 36,748 is the next major resistance for me, and that would be where we expect to see some resistance. Of course, the upper point of control is very important as well, so keep that in mind for potential take profits or for some trading opportunities. So that's really about it on the lower time frames here as well. If we can hold this lower time frame structure that we have, you can see we've got a low, a high, a higher low, and a higher high. If we can hold this structure, then ultimately that would be good for the price action. And let's move on to Link USDT now. So Link USDT, we're going to be taking a look at the Binance chart. We had a very nice bounce from the EQ off the Link USDT bullish order block here. I clearly cannot speak today. I do apologize about that. But taking a look at this right here, we came down to the EQ, the bullish order block that we had back from January 2021. We had a very nice 100-something percent bounce from this, about 130%. Now we've come back to the bullish order block. We've come to the EQ, the most important region here, and we have bounced up about 22% once again. This would have been a beautiful trade because we've bounced from the EQ, gone straight to the S1, and it could ultimately be a nice take profit one area. If the S1 is reclaimed here at 1885, I would be looking for a move up to the higher time frame resistance points. So we can go ahead and actually put in a little bit of a fixed range since we broke into this range. So I want to go right here, and that would give us our point of control, the next major area at $24 if the S1 is reclaimed. Now, of course, the bullish divergences that we spoke about on Bitcoin and resistances being reclaimed is ultimately going to be good for the altcoins. The altcoins have, had much bigger bounces than Bitcoin as well. We had some very nice news for Link yesterday as well. I'm very happy to hear that. We could go ahead and discuss it maybe in tomorrow's video, but it's something we've been waiting for a while, and it is a very, very bullish factor for Chainlink in the long term. Now let's take a look at some of the lower time frames for Chainlink. So let's go on to the 4 hour. What we can see here is, of course, a local downtrend that has not changed just yet. We've got highs, lows, lower highs, and lower lows, and consecutively we still do have that. But our last lower high here, you could be looking at it at this region at around $18. So we are attempting to break this. Where I would be looking at is the weekly S1 at 1957. If we can reclaim the weekly S1, I would be targeting the weekly pivot here at $22. I like how it lines up near that point of control, which we spoke about on the high time frames as well. So definitely nothing is changed just yet. We still have a downtrend in place. However, if we can get above that weekly S1, then that is when we are going to be looking at this as some more momentum definitely coming in to the charts or to the bullish side. So what we can see here is a falling channel as well. This falling channel has been playing out beautifully. I believe we've already spoken about it once. We came down to the bottom of the falling channel, and as you can see, that has held. So getting above and back out of this falling channel, it would play out as a bullish channel, of course, since these do have a higher probability of breaking to the upside. But it is very, very important to wait for confirmations. So if we were to break around $26, that would be confirmation of this channel breaking to the upside, and it would give us a target of around $36.96. Of course, we are getting very ahead of ourselves since we are right at the bottom of the channel at the moment, but trading the range here, you would be targeting at least the median, which is at $21, or the highs off the channel as well. So 2 take profit zones there. If we get above that, then that's going to be confirmation for a potential reversal coming into play here. I like how this channel target is actually lining up with the highs off the range as well. 34.97 around there is the highs of the range. So going above there, that could be a bearish setup as well. We could be looking at it as a swing failure pattern. But if we can maintain above there, that's when things get interesting for those swing positions to the upside. Closing above this region, that would be acceptance back into this big breakdown point. So back on the 17th of May, we had the breakdown, bringing us basically into this range that we were in. So that would be an important region to reclaim. At that point, I think if we can get some high time frame closes above there, I would be targeting back at the all-time highs, and that would be looking much, much better for price action. Let's move on to Ethereum USD and quickly wrap this up. Let's go on to our Bybit chart. Same thing, we had a rejection here, lower time frame head and shoulders here, and we did end up breaking to the downside, as you can see. So we've already spoken about that. A head and shoulder here is a reversal formation. We have come back down. However, now we've come to the bottom of the range and we've hit the S3. Some beautiful low risk buying positions could go down here. We've already bounced up about 19%. But same thing for Chainlink here. The market structure is still unchanged. So we need to get back above the S1 at the very least and start to break the weekly pivot as well. Now we have a falling channel here for Ethereum also. But personally, I would be actually looking at this as just a sideways channel. I mean, they all are in a sideways channel right now, which means we are in a period of consolidation, a period of just ranging price action. So that is why we've been looking to trade this as a range. We're looking to buy the bottom of the range and sell the top of the range until we do get confirmations to either side. So breaking below the S3, of course, would be your confirmations for the downside, and breaking above the S1 here would be very nice as well. You can see that we actually did take out these lows here yesterday. So that would be a swing failure pattern confirmed for some long trading opportunities. We'd be looking at the reclaim of the S1 and a break below the S3. So charts looking mainly the same here. Ethereum, Chainlink, and Bitcoin, they've all bounced from same regions, bottom of their range, bouncing from the S3, bouncing from our monthly profile value area low. If this bounce can last, we would be getting some bullish divergences set in, and we would be looking at moves higher inside of the range, giving us some very nice buying opportunities. And also yesterday's buying opportunities were very, very good for some swing areas. Now, that is about it from me, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. I appreciate your time. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. We're almost at 26,000 subscribers. Also, if you would like to join the private technical analysis group, get access to all of my content, my username is down below in the description, at the top of the description. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.